Hey guys, this is rabbidhedgehog from YouTube, and today I'm going to be showing you the very basics of creating your very first web page. Now, this is going to be the first installment of a huge series on creating websites, creating web pages, on web development, web design, web programming, and even more. And this very first tutorial covers the very basics of the language HTML, also called the hypertext markup language. And today we're just going to learn the very basics. In a couple of days I'll release a second one, and there will probably be at least 4 HTML tutorials until I move on to even more languages. So HTML is an incredibly easy language. I'll hopefully be able to show you something new and cool. So first let's go over what HTML actually is. Now HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, or in short, HTML describes websites. So you save, so first you type code, you save it. When open in a browser, the browser interprets the code and displays it as the website that you want. Now, just like a spoken language, HTML has a fairly large set of rules for proper grammar, which are called tags. So now let's begin. Now, as you can see, I'm using Mac for this tutorial, but for PC it's a fairly similar process. So for Mac, we're just going to open up TextEdit and make sure that in preferences plain text is selected, or else it won't work correctly. And then your window looks just like this. If it doesn't, then quit it and then create a new one again. And then for Windows, just go to Start, All Programs, Accessories, and then Notepad. Okay, so as I mentioned before, HTML has these things called tags, right? And tags are done just like this. As you can see, there's a lesser than sign, then a greater than sign. And inside of those two tags, I have the tag HTML. Here, let me make this a little bit bigger for you. Sorry. Okay. As you can see here, I have the first HTML tag. However, you almost must end HTML documents. So you have to just put a / right after the very first inequality symbol to end your HTML document. Now inside here we have the head, which is used for providing some information about your page. Not necessary, but highly useful. Now inside this we're going to have a quick little title tag, which shows the title of your website. So if I were to go ahead and save this, make sure you go to Save As, index.html, and make sure that if you're using Windows, then the file format is set as all types. And then quickly save, use .html, and on your desktop an index.html document should appear. If I open this up with a web browser, you'll see that the actual area over here is completely blank. However, the title, which we just specified, is right up there. Pretty cool. So if I were to make a rabbidhedgehog website and then save it and then refresh it in my browser, you'll see that the title is now replaced right up there. So outside of the head tags, except inside the HTML tags, I have the body, which is where the actual content of your site goes. So if I type some text, then refresh it, you'll see that it is displayed right here. See that? Yep. Okay, that's cool. Then if I wanted to make a nice little heading to my site, I would add the tags H1 as in H1N1. if I want to make a subheading, I use H2. And you see big title, small title, content. So, now we cover the very basics and go a little deeper. Now, if you haven't already noticed, an HTML element always starts with a starting tag and always ends with an ending tag. And an element's content is always inside of the starting and ending tags. However, there are certain tags which are just declared once, such as a line break. As you can see, this is similar to pressing enter on a Microsoft Word, except as you noticed, creating enters doesn't actually enter it inside your actual web page. So if I were to repeat this multiple times, you'll see that it is clearly entered right there, or line breaked. Okay, and to make these into paragraphs, I simply put a P tag around them. And they'll instantly become paragraphs with slight margins in between them and margins from the left side. And yeah, pretty cool. And the very last tag we're going to be learning today of the very basic HTML tutorial is called the hyperlink tag, which can be notated by using a, and then use an attribute. Here we're using the hyperlink reference attribute. So href equals quote, specify the location of your link, and that, then enter the text of your link, so Google, then end your link. And as you can see, we just created a nice little link to Google. So that concludes our very first tutorial on HTML. I was going to create all of my HTML tutorials in exactly the same video, but I figured I wouldn't have enough time. In fact, I probably need about half an hour to cover all the basics, and so I decided to split it up a bunch for now until I get a nice little partnership. Okay, well, later installments will include tutorials further expanding HTML, then on CSS, JavaScript, PHP, MySQL, and more. And in later HTML tutorials, I'll show some styling, forms, tables, lists, doc type, meta, scripts, entities, and even layout. And if you have any questions, just comment below or send me a PM. And thanks for watching. Bye.